All right. Good night, folks. Good night, good night, good night. You know the drill, Jared Best Michelle. Let me add Lyndon into the mix here on IG quickly. Lyndon, I ain't get a request from you yet. Seeing you here now. Lovely. Let me invite him. Maurice, good night. Let me just pop up my LinkedIn page here. LinkedIn, good night. Start off by just telling us where you're from, of course. You know the drill. Tell us where you're from, where you're streaming in tonight. All booked up. Good day. Tonight, we're actually talking about something interesting. It's an extension of where we continued from last week. Just getting ideas from people of what industry you're in, what's your sales challenges, and how you could overcome it, and even just some great prospecting introduction. So before we get started with that,
LinkedIn Live with Lyndon and Jared.
Thank you very much, Zoe.
Lovely. You know, when I have my assistant in the house, it's all good. So, folks, here's what's happening. Last week, we had a lot of fun. Some of you told us, were telling us your challenges. You were telling us the industry that you were in. And we were just sharing ideas as to how to help you overcome those things, like how to overcome your prospecting, what kind of ideas you can use specifically to get your customers' attention, and how to differentiate yourself. And I think all that stemmed, Lyndon, from when we were just talking about the prospecting tips.
Prospecting tips.
Yes. So that is why. So let us know any comments. First of all, let us know where you're from. I know we have some people who are always from Trinidad. We also have people who are from the Caribbean. We also have people who are from the US. But when they tell us where you're from, also tell us the industry that you're in and what might be that challenge, because we're going to answer it for you.
Good night, Denise.
Plain and simple.
Good night, Denise. Much love back to you as well. Good night to Medford G. Mau Jones.
Medford, tell us what industry you're in.
Yeah. Tell us your industry, and we'll just have a conversation about it. What we can do, JB, is maybe start with how we ended off last week. So because we know that from time to time we'll have folks from the real estate standpoint, so we can just maybe start the conversation by real estate.
So sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, so just to give the context, guys, what we're going to do is that we're going to look at the industry. Again, we're going to speak about some of the things that we believe that they could be doing to help boost sales, different strategies that they could be using along the lines of sales and or prospecting, right? So for me, I've always found a little bit of an issue with how real estate agents, present their properties. I think it's very traditional. It does not always appeal or to attract a strong enough audience, because everyone is showing pictures of homes and this and that and the third, right? But I think it looks the same, right? You see a house, you see a backyard, you see the interior, you see what else? You see the kitchen, that kind of thing, right? And you write a particular kind of mundane copy. If it is that you are prospecting, if it is that you need to sell that home, you need to do a couple of things, and these are things that I would have shared to Brent and another realtor colleague of mine, and that is you need to share a lot more about the value as to what that is, because you are putting someone who's going to be in that space long term, especially if it's from a buying a home perspective, not so much so a rental, right?
Yeah.
So if someone is buying a home, you need to sell that like that is theirs for the rest of their life. So one thing I always use as an exercise with the agents some of the agents that I worked with, I said, so tell me a little bit about how you guys remember growing up. Because if this family has kids, right? Imagine waking up, your kids waking up to the smell of breakfast being made and that bread, and you're taking them out to play and they're learning to ride on their bike. So like me, I grew up loving Edinburgh 500 because that is part of my life, right? So if you can sell that and sell a little bit more about the community, you are selling the future into the customer's mind. So while you're putting your stuff out there on social media, it cannot be a mundane, photo of a home, a kitchen, a bathroom, and you put a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, stuff like that. We have to move away from that. and we have to picture as to what is the future here. This is a family. It's a couple, or it might be a single person. If it is that they're bringing their daughter into their home, or sorry, if they're bringing a child into the home, single mother, single father, joint family, look at the future as to what that is going to be, and you speak to your audience along those lines. So we need to be a little bit more creative in how
Correct.
we pitch as agents. So it means that we have to dig a little bit deeper. One more thing I wanna lay on you here before we go into before you add your 2 cents to it.
Yeah.
is that
And start sharing with us the industry and what your challenges and stuff might be. Yeah.
pay attention to the community. So like if someone needed to buy a home by me, I would say, well, I've been paying attention to the Diego Martin community, specifically around by the Diego Martin Community Center. Maybe 7 years ago or 8 years ago or 10 years ago, the property value was X, but it's appreciated by X amount because we have the bank, we have the community center, we now have Westbees. Westbees now brings in approximately 100,000 in terms of foot traffic per month, that kind of thing, because it's grown from 55 to 85. So I'm most certain it's about 100,000 plus the businesses. So the reason why you're doing that, guys, is because you're showing the person that your home will appreciate in value. You understand? Because that is something that people would always be interested in. Because you don't know if it is that I buy a home today, JB. You don't know if I want to spend the next 20 years here. If I might only buy it now, but something might happen. And if I want to be able to move on somewhere else in my life, I might want to sell this and do something else. So those are the things I think that agents should be willing to push or to talk about, because you want to plant those seeds in the mind of the customer.
Yeah, and I see Maurice here just talking about we do that on showings, and a lot of people don't read the descriptions. Yeah, and let me challenge you. So Jamie, good night. We're going to talk about the car industry just now, and I'll touch base on different industries and throw out ideas. Good night, Savage Monk. Just to give you an idea, right? I think there are not enough videos being done in the real estate industry, right? And just to give you some insight, Maurice. So on TikTok, just to give you an idea, Park Place Realty, I think, is the only real estate company that has real estate Trinidad hashtag in their videos. And the only real estate company putting out videos, I think Reside is the other one. And they have about 400,000 views. That's last time I checked like 3 months ago. I probably assume it's probably double now. Right? Wow. And they're getting leads and stuff from it. But the thing is, they're doing more video. And the thing is, when you talk about all the different ideas and stuff you could do to get your customers' attention to overcome the challenges to cut through the noise, video is one way that you should be doing it, especially in those kind of industries. Like I remember putting out something on stories, telling everybody, like, Denise, you are in Massey Industries. Hit me some hearts or the button, just let me know if you're there. But everybody now, since you're back out in the car industry, you're supposed to have a video on every single car already by now. Like, we've been open for a week, Lyndon?
Yes.
No, 2 days. No,
this started Monday.
This Monday, right?
Yes.
You should please tell me you have at least 3 videos on cars right now, minimum.
Oh, it says JB,
right.
You have an Echo. Unfortunately, we can't do much about the Echo, Christine. I'm not sure as to why, but hopefully it's not too disturbing. We'll have to kind of push through with it. Sorry. We've been trying to fix that for a little while, and I'm not sure
Let's see
as to what's happening.
Is it better now? I'm even hearing it now, so hold on. Let's switch this up. Let's try this other one and see. Yeah, we can. Okay, so let's get back on track. Let's hope this one works. But you know, we never lucky. So we just continue with the show.
Hook up all your mics.
Who said that?
Oh gosh.
Right.
While Jared doing that, I just wanna make a point to Maurice's thing here. Don't expect people to read that description, Maurice. You have to do the video. I mean, I'm saying that, and I've started doing a lot more video now, but because I want to do video a particular way. But I'm saying in your space, don't rely on people to read descriptions, because when people get into it, they're not going to pay attention. Do the video. People would look at the video. They would listen to the audio. They'll read the captions. Do the video. You'll get more catchment. Don't rely on people to reading.
Let me break it down for real estate. Hey, Grant, good night. Inedible Concepts, good night. Christina, good night. So let me break it down, right? outside of I have videos of the outside of each car. Lovely to do it on the inside. So excellent. So let me hit it on Jamie first. If you're in the car industry, you need to have a video of every single car, right? And let me break it down for you. They need to have a video of you narrating the car. So in other words, there's a video you walking around explaining what you're seeing on the outside to the inside. Then you have a video of you on the inside of the car talking about it, giving those experiences. But here's the reason why I want to do it. You want to do it simply because if clients cannot come to you, you're going to send this to get clients' attention, right? Like, and even if it's prospects, it's really just to follow up with somebody and say, listen, we have new models of the Honda City coming in right now. The newest Honda CR-V is in right now, the 2021 model. Just wanted to send you a video of what it's looking like. And I'm not sure if red is your favorite color, but I just wanted to shoot that out there too so you could see what it looks like with the leather interior. And I just sent this out because if there's any reason why you might not be able to come back out to work, if things shut down temporarily, you want to have that video content. Like, that's the main reason we keep talking about stuff. It's just to have the content out there to continuously reach out to your customers. Maurice, if you're in real estate, every single listing that you have, every single listing, doesn't matter if it's something of another agent's own, but if you know that your clients will love it, you need to have a video on it. Plain talk, bad manners. I don't care if anybody say, you know, some people always tell you, for example, oh gosh, was this thing the home might not be ready or is a fix up or nothing. No, record the video, just explain that. Even if you have to do it, even if you have to take a video on the outside alone, just to invite people in, like, you must have content on every single house. Think about it as if you reaching out to somebody brand new. You have to think about it in those perspectives. I'm using this video to reach out to my customers to let them know. I'm doing this video to reach out to prospects to let them know. That's how you need to position your videos.
Jamie, can I add something there as it relates to the automotive? Because again, coming from the car industry myself, right? As much as people like the whole little features and stuff, I know that there are customers who like safety. Customers get kind of sweet on safety. So I would do a video about almost every single aspect of that car and keep it in sections, right? And like what I do for HubSpot, in different areas, different aspects of my training, is that I have done videos and saved them on YouTube, and based upon what the customer has an interest in. So here's a thing. I might normally ask, like, let's say I'm meeting you for the first time and you're asking me about the vehicle. So I might say, well, you know, so Jamie, thanks for reaching out to talk to me about the vehicle. I'll definitely send you some information. What is it that you've seen about this car that you like so much? And what is it that you want coming out of a vehicle based upon your particular needs? And the customer might say, well, I'm looking for a little bit of luxury. I might be looking for safety. Based upon what they say, you can dig into it a little bit deeper. And I will pull from my reservoir videos that I have stored on YouTube or StreamYard or whatever, and I will send that to them. The reason that we're doing that, the reason that we're doing it is the reason that you're doing it actually is, as Jared was just saying, is that you're using those strategies to start enticing the customer, but you're doing it specific to them. Because I had a customer who was only interested in one or two things in the interior, like the size of a glove box in the middle, right? So because she wanted to secure her stuff. It was actually one of the reasons why I lost the deal in the first place, right? And because I didn't have anything and I was so fixed, I had a one-track mind installing that time, right? And then I had other customers who were really hooked on the safety features of the car, right? So if you can start breaking certain things down as a did you know and stuff like that, and it can be 1 minute, hey, did you know that this vehicle has like X crumple zones, and those crumple zones help you because of XYZ? Break down the simple things. It don't have to be no long, elaborate stuff. But you're doing that to entice the customer.
Right. All Booked Up says they love video for real estate. And also Trinitika was saying show the bathroom. Here's another tip too, because I tell this to my clients. Even if you have a listing that you can't show properly, I would always, like, if it might not be in showable condition, whatever it is, I would still pick my favorite thing about the listing and actually showcase that. And that's what my video be about. I've still yet to see real estate videos that talk about the neighborhoods, because you all keep saying there's this home in Cunupia. Where? You know big Cunupia is? Where in Chaguanas? Where in Diego Martin? Like, these are the things I need to see.
How long does it take to get there?
And Denise, let me give you this tip. Jamie, let me give you this tip. This is coming from Lyndon's History. I think a great video could be you sitting in the car in the driver's seat and asking the person, imagine yourself here.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't want you to say imagine it as in buying. I want you to say, I want to see you here for a test drive. Because remember, you know for a fact the test drive is one of the sure ways to get somebody to buy a car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's just me. And but I mean, tell us, anybody getting some like sales challenges and stuff right now with their history? Hey, good night, Jason Gold.
So
In
we
terms of
have
their sales?
Trinicita. I think she was saying that well, she was saying show the bathroom. I think she may have mentioned
Show the
something.
bathroom.
She
Yeah,
was
she's the one who
saying,
said show the bathroom.
right. So Trinicita, a few things up. She said, advice for people in education industry, like myself. Can I take a stab at that first?
Yeah.
I would say keep doing what you're doing, but look at using it to amplify a little bit more. So like right now, I think that you do some of your sessions where you go through classes online, right? But if you could also, so here's a big thing with that, right? So like, why would someone want to learn to speak a foreign language? And I think you're doing Spanish.
Yeah.
Why would that be a big thing right now? And who would you want to target with that? So like, my daughter, she likes. Over the weekend, she was talking to me about sign language, right? And she also has a little bit of an interest in Spanish, but she didn't do too well in it, so she has to kind of warm up to it as well, right? But she understands value because it could be beneficial for her as a career long term. So if you can show the overall value, not just teaching the language, but how can people move forward in their careers and stuff like that, and somehow try to show folks, okay, well, listen, if it is that you're looking at this particular career in a couple of years' time, you may actually need this if you want to, because it may be going bilingual, or it may be of benefit there. If you start showing a lot more of that while doing what you're doing right now in terms of educating folks, I think that would be excellent. Also, if you can start building a community around that particular brand, so you may have a bunch of learning Spanish people, right? So you're doing your little Zooms, so you're doing your stuff online, but you're maybe doing some 1 or 2 free sessions where you have folks you're teaching folks maybe the basics. Those things can start bringing in leads into your space, because you will find a few people like it. Not everyone may be interested in converting to be a customer, but by doing things like that, by consistently educating, those things definitely help build on the brand. It helps build on community, and it helps in terms of converting sales. But keep doing what you do, because I think it's totally valuable.
And Remax, no, good night, Madonna. Let me add this to Trinitica as well. I have seen Fujitsu, Fire Minds, which is Timothy Odeon, and a couple other companies put out sales positions. And you know what I saw? Bilingual.
Yeah.
Spanish is a must.
Spanish is a must, yeah.
I would actually start taking those positions and sharing it and explaining it to persons. Many of you are in the job market right now. This is why you need to learn Spanish. Let me actually help you ramp up in the fastest way possible.
Actually, as you mentioned that too, here's a big thing. Most companies in Trinidad, some of the support, most tech firms, like HPs and stuff like that, they get a lot of support from Latin America. So some of the people that I have worked with came out of LATAM, or they were coming out of Miami, but coming out of Miami, they fell into the Latin American space. So that's a big value add to you. So even if you are looking at, let's just say, for instance, you want to go into, again, I'll use Massey as an example, right? Because that's where my experience is. Because my space worked so well with the Latin American, customer support side of things, you could maybe reach into HR and say, listen, I know that maybe some of your folks do have support for, some of your support is coming out of LATAM. I'm willing to offer some classes to those interested, for any of your supervisors that might want to learn Spanish, because it's a value add. I've gone to Puerto Rico. Thankfully, I didn't need an interpreter, right? The guys and they were good with their Spanish. I've gone to Miami. Some of the guys from HP, some of the guys from Samsung, they spoke Spanish, right? But they spoke to me in English. Now, it would have been a value add if I understood the Spanish and I could have rattled off a couple of things to them. And I don't know, honestly, Jared, if some of the things that they were speaking in Spanish, they were technically laughing at me. I don't know.
I'm gonna guess yes. No, but all right. So, Trini, let me just I was looking back at the comments here. Hold on, I just want to make sure I get it right. I don't know why IG is so hard to read comments in, but yeah. Well, I forget the point I was gonna make. My mind dropped. Sorry for the persons who are now joining us. What we're asking is to share with us share with us what your sales challenges might be right now, so we could give you our feedback. Overtime, TT, good night. Let me just touch base on all
Books.
Is it all books? She had a great question. She is a book subscription service, right? How do you build excitement around reading and reading local Caribbean? My business is centered around this. I am a heavy book reader, as you all know.
Yes.
Right? I think this is the latest one I'm actually reading. My thing that I would ask you is, how often are you engaging with your audience all books? So in other words, if I think I looked at one of your posts, it had like, let's just say there are 20 likes. How many of those persons have you actually messaged with an actual offer? Because my thing is, from the time somebody engages with my content, it gives me an opportunity to start a conversation. And you could just literally send them a voice note just saying, "Hi, Lyndon, thanks so much for viewing my story about Pleasant View. This is one of the latest local books that is out there in the market right now. And we actually have a special going for it right now that we're giving exclusively to people that like the post. It's 10%. If you're interested, let me know. We have a one-click process in terms of buying." And that's the other thing, though, because I know a friend of mine recently had a bad book buying experience. Like, you have to make this like one click, as easy as you can buy, like local buyers. And anybody who's watching this live now, let me know. From a local perspective, Trinis, we want a one-click buy. You have to make it that easy for us now. I'm seeing too many people having way too long, way too many steps just to get to the point of me paying you, because that's what I want to do. I want to pay you. I want to give you my money. So my thing I'll tell you with all books one time is to just start the engagement. And then what you have to start doing is showcasing the testimonials. And I think you always have to be on the pulse of what books people want to read. So including that engagement, even if the person says, all books, thanks so much for the offer, but not interested, I would say, cool, let me know, what book do you want to read? And if you ask 10 people that and 5 give you a similar answer, and you don't have that book in stock, that could be the opportunity.
I would also say to build a community. Right?
Yeah.
Build an online community of book readers. Once a month, everybody comes out and they as a matter of fact, I remember
Book of Sins does this.
There was a group that I was in, and we used to read a book a month, and that was the book of the month.
Yeah.
Right. And well, we didn't have any big online presence. We would come together when we had having a little business meeting, and we would just talk about what we got coming out of that book, and those things are good, because when you can give your own book reviews, or when you build a community through your own platform, you could have just like how Jared and I doing this here, you can have other people from the community, from your community, book community, talk about the books that they read and give their perspective of it. So it's not just one dimensional only coming from you, but the more you start seeing more people getting involved with the books that they read and giving their own reviews, but it's coming through your channel. Again, I think community is something that some of us need to work on building, because community is really, really important for the growth of your business. So I would say something like everything that Jared said, and then work on building a community, because subscription based as well is a community, right?
Yep.
And if before someone buys, they may want to read a review. The reviews come from a community of buyers.
I would ask in this case, Lyndon, how good is your email marketing strategy as well on this? So how good is your outreach to your existing base? Like, how often are you communicating to the existing clients? So all of that is one-way strategy. So let us know if that helps. Good night to Stephanie Telemark. I'm seeing Kieran K Clothing, Keith, Anthony, Kisa, and Kim. How are you all going? Let us know what are some of your sales challenges. I know Kisa, Frankly Stable is one of my clients, so I know that's the insurance industry.
And
I think
shout out to Amali as well on LinkedIn. So thank you for joining.
Amali, yes, Amali supports my point. She can give you the example of the bookstore. Like, honestly, folks. But let's talk about this unknown sales challenge. You have to understand how easy are you making it for your customers to buy. Right? And just to recap, for anybody who's watching it right now, if you're now joining, thank you so much. we are just giving out sales advice, sales tips for people who have sales challenges. So if it is that you're in a particular industry, you're trying to get more sales, shoot us a comment below and let us know what industry you're in, what you're trying to do to get your sales up. And Lyndon and I are going to give our 2 cents. So we had the book industry. We also had the language industry as well, the education industry. But there are tons of them that we've been seeing people getting challenges with.
Mhm.
I know for a lot of the... Sorry, you go ahead.
No, you were saying, for a lot of...
No, I know for a lot of industries, and I know, for example, in the insurance industry, I know that's a big challenge for many, but I know the issue right now for a lot of persons is the service industry. Like people who are in service-based industries,
Right.
they are finding it challenging. But I honestly think if you're in the service-based industry, let me ask you this question and just give me, again, if you're on any of the platforms, just give us a heart or a why or comment and just let us know. Are you interacting with your customers on social? Because to me, I think that is where the missed sales opportunities are. Because again, I have clients who are posting on social and they're saying they're not getting any responses. But my thing is, why are you thinking you're so entitled that you have to get a response?
Yes.
Are you actually starting the conversation? Because again,
exactly.
from the time somebody likes my post, if they're not part of your network, if you've never sent them a message, you need to start doing that today. That is how a sale gets started. Think about it. That's like you walking into a store and nobody acknowledges you. It's
That's
equivalent.
Mhm.
And that simple acknowledgement is not the dumb acknowledgement of you need assistance. No, personalized greeting. You've seen the person's name, etc. Like you're undervaluing how important your social media networks are. And the thing is, let's put it this way. And I'll give you an example from one of the clients. They posted something. It had about 70 likes, right? My question to them was, what's your closing ratio? Right? They said I think they said 20%. I was like, right, how many in that 72 or 70 is your ideal customer? I was like, have you gone through this? You liked it? No. I was like, imagine if you find out who is your ICP and then multiply by a closing rate. That wouldn't get you excited to continuously engage with your clients. So for anybody trying to boost your sales, that alone there, look at your existing network. Are you having conversations with them on a regular basis?
Yeah. I want to just quickly pivot before I forget the point, right? Because it's in my head. So just to kind of quickly pivot again back to all books.
Yeah.
Right. Or you can actually also reach out to like I'm seeing 2 sources of strategic revenue for you, right? Leadership books. So like even though we're talking about coming on the platform and starting a book club and a book community, you can do that on LinkedIn as well, right? Because
there are no sales books in stores.
Yeah,
none.
Exactly. So you have sales books, you have leadership books that you could do. So you can do a LinkedIn live every Sunday and just talk about this book and how it will help your staff, the benefit that the staff can get. So we're not talking about those little simple self-development books, but you can get real hardcore in your sales and go after organizations. So you can be targeting with certain books. You can be targeting supervisors, middle management, leadership.
And you can actually send that information out to companies if it is your staff want to get books. And by the way, can I just say this to bookstores? I am so fed up of the sales books that you have. Like, no offense, Stephen Covey and Napoleon Hill is not sales books. There are way better sales authors out there right now. I'm talking Jeb Blount, Anthony Reno, Keenan. Like, they're so, like, I could look at my shelf now and talk about so many books that I had to buy on Amazon because it legit did not have it in any of these stores. I think at least 70% of the books I've bought from Amazon. There are very few books down here. So that could be also an avenue where you have not explored that market. Trinity is also asking us, I outsourcing a mini call center, which I also have, but don't speak a lot AVM at the moment.
Maybe at the moment is what she means.
Yeah, but I wanted to expand.
So she wanted to get information about the call center. That in itself would be maybe a little bit different to address, Trinitica, because remember, your call center adds value to different customers based upon their needs, right?
Yep.
So if you have to do any promotion on that, you have to speak to the value add that call center is giving to the clientele. So that comes back to who was the target audience for the call center. What type of calls are they going to be making? Is it service related, outbound calls, sales calls, service calls? Is it like what is the name of this call center on Independence Square? Something one,
Direct TV, direct
one or something like that.
Direct One.
Is
And
it-
there's
is it-
also ICO. All right, Trinitica, here's a random idea. I just thought of it. I would go to the government to outsource, and this goes into the core skill that you have. I would go to the government and outsource my call center to handle calls from Spanish-speaking
Spanish-speaking.
immigrants.
Yeah. Yep.
Plain and simple.
That's an excellent
Plain
one.
and simple.
Yeah.
I see Cellular Planet is here. John Ruman is here. Cellular Planet, I think, I don't know if you all have done it, but I mean, I don't know if you all have made it easy for people to order phones online because people still want to buy and get it delivered to them. Right now, I'm trying to buy some plants and they could deliver. So I am happy with that at the moment. But
Right.
anybody else, let us know. I think right now a lot of people see as challenges is just the creativity behind it. There's honestly no budgets involved in terms of trying to increase your sales. There are a lot right now in the market, folks. If you're watching this, there are a lot of free ways to increase your sales, and a lot of it just honestly has to do with your effort.
I honestly think, Jared, that we might need to put a service in place to help people do brain dump, like a sales think tank, because sometimes when we are so close to the business, we tend to not see the business, if you understand where I'm coming from. Because we are in the trenches with the business all the time, you are unable to see some of those possibilities. So that's why an organization would invest in, let's say, a consultant to help pull some of those little ideas and stuff.
I like that brain dump idea.
Yeah, because what happens is that we so into, and then what happens with that too, because you're so into the business, you tend to think that, oh, that's not going to happen because we haven't tried it, or you start thinking of all the reasons as to why it wouldn't work, right?
Yeah.
But like, look at what we're doing now, right? We are just randomly coming up with ideas. We all can write this down and try these things tomorrow, right?
Tonight, I would send messages on my social media network to my clients tonight. Every time you get a follow, you should be sending it. Actually, if you're on Instagram, you should actually go to Insights and see who are your most engaging followers and send them messages if they have not bought from you and ask them, what's up? How can I be of service to you? And even if they don't buy, at least the interaction could convert them to being a cheerleader.
Right. So Brent is asking on Instagram, on LinkedIn, sorry, he's asking, do you think for real estate, so there's a real estate question, folks, on LinkedIn. So, I mean, on Instagram. So Brent is asking, do you think for real estate, our ICP, meaning ideal customer profile, is on digital platforms like Instagram and Facebook? So I wanna challenge something, because I am challenging it myself based upon my actual experiences. So a couple years ago, I learned about ICP, which is ideal customer profile, and I dedicated myself and also teach people. So it is a real thing, right?
Yeah.
To answer your question, do I think that they're there? My answer would be yes, but they may not be pointing in your direction, and you may not be pointing in theirs. That's one. However, what I have also learned, Brent, is that by consistently putting your stuff out there, you do not need to. It doesn't need to hit it doesn't need to hit the airwaves, quote unquote, of your ICP to get to your ICP. Meaning that you can put something out, Jared could see it. Jared is not in the market, right? But he knows that I am. So what does Jared do? Jared forwards it to me, right?
Yep.
We have moved from word of mouth to word of phone, because it moves from me seeing it, and then Jared will say, hey, you remember we were talking about this thing the other day? And then so he sends me the link, and I get to review it from there. So the first person to see it would not have been your quote unquote ideal customer profile, but because I have conversation and people talk about what they want and what they want to achieve and that kind of this and that and the third, because of those conversations, it reaching into the space, into the mind space of someone else, that other person might eventually get you to where you need to be. It's like quote unquote 6 degrees of separation. So don't focus too much on the ideal customer profile, but focus on the value. I think just focusing a lot on what the value add will be. So for your home, as we were saying this, as we were talking in the beginning of the chat, based upon what the home is, I might say this is a great home for a starting family, or this is a great home for an existing family with 2 kids, because you can expand and you could grow you could expand into the backyard and cut out a little bit of space. Or if somebody doesn't want the yard but they want to grow, start speaking the future about your homes, because the people who are coming into that space, they're not coming in to just buy a home and then sell it 3 or 5 years after the loan is done. They're there for a while, and they want to be able to grow old, and their kids could grow up there, because your memories is part of your value proposition.
Yeah.
And then of course the kids move on from there. So
no, but I think what he was asking in particular to Lyndon, I think you were saying if the ICP is on digital platforms like IG and Facebook. So what I would tell you, from when I talk to the clients, real estate clients that I deal with, a lot of them bash and say Facebook is crap. What I would tell you
I know
is
one
that,
person said that too.
and what I would tell you is that I don't think people are speaking about who their ICP is better on the platforms.
Mhm.
So you are just giving out you're just saying that you have a house, but I think you're not building the content consistently enough to let people understand how do you buy a home, who's ideally suited for the home, etc. You just literally putting out the house, and I think that's why you haven't been able to effectively define their ICP, and that's what sometimes throwing off the customers, or that's why probably the wrong type of person is coming. Because I still see it, and let me show you how it happens, right? It will move away from people trolling the price of houses to people asking if you have a price of a house that might not be in their range. And if you want to understand why it's important to define that ICP, I would tell you, go to probably Mercedes-Benz Facebook page and see if you see anybody talking about how expensive the price is.
Mhm.
Because that ICP is defined. You know you have Toyota money. So watch on the page, click like, and move on. Go on
Right.
Toyota page and interact. But if you start creating that defined ICP and brand, then you actually attract the right amount of persons. Your followers, your engagement might go down. Your followers and your likes might go down, but the engagement might go up because you're actually attracting the right person this time.
The quality of the people that you're attracting. And that's what I'm saying
But it's
too.
still a feedback, boy. Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too, that excuse me, just being clear, selling the future, but tying in that entire ICP. When you talk about all those things, the people who are supposed to reach out to you will reach out to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's honestly the truth.
The people who are supposed to reach out to you, or the people who see it, will point your video in the direction of who to reach out to, of who's supposed to reach out to you. So keep it out there, and keep it out there, and just make sure that when you're talking about your homes, you are very specific as to who do you see the occupants of that home being. Because again, I don't think I personally haven't seen it. Other agents talking about this is a home that's ideal for this type of family, that type of family, that kind of stuff, or this type of worker, that you're in and out of the area in a specific period of time. So yeah, no feedback on LinkedIn, yes, but we know that we get any feedback.
No, it's an IG issue, folks. Something with IG is always just giving us that messed up audio that we cannot avoid. I don't know what it is. As you mentioned, social media platforms, do you suggest being present on all, or do you focus on one or two? I would focus on one or two. So, for example, my main platform, LinkedIn. My secondary platform, Instagram. I spend 0 time on Facebook, and I use Twitter for personal reasons. I use Twitter just as social listen. My core platforms are those two. I think if you spread yourself too thin, you run into problems. Make sure and master the platform first, build your tribe, and then move on to another platform. The only platform I would tell people to jump on now, just because of the organic reach, is TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Like, seriously. That is the only other platform. Right? Yeah. But again, and let me explain something here in terms of when everybody's looking for like sales tips and advice. The only thing I'll stress to everybody is ask yourself, and you could tell me in the chat or not if you want, are you being consistent with your efforts in your sales efforts? And it doesn't matter if it's the cold calling that you're doing or the social media. Are you being consistent? Because that is what's going to bring you the results at the end of the day, is showing up every single day for your audience and putting out some piece of value out there, right? That is the key thing. Oh, and now remember, one piece of social media advice. because I was telling Javon Feldman this, the future of insurance, in my opinion. If Diana Powment could run Nikki Crosby ads still, you could replay old content.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
those stress if you might not have content. If you have great performing content from a month ago or 2 months ago, rerun that sucker.
But it's not just Nikki Crosby, Sprang Alang.
All of them.
All of them. Yes. That's a wonderful point.
Car Queen, there are 3 car people on TikTok right now. I don't have them off the top of my head because I deleted the app because it really absorbs a lot of your time. But the car videos get a lot of traction. Your boy is on it. What's his name? King. I forget the name.
Nissan guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on it.
That's Damien Richard.
Richard. He posts different stuff, but honestly, he is if you like there's 3 guys in particular who post professional car videos, and I think I sent you a WhatsApp with some of them so you could check it. Those to me are excellent individuals. Like in terms of who get a lot of traction. You just have to be consistent with it and show up. It helps.
Yeah.
Right? I have not seen a lot of local real estate people on TikTok locally. Foreign, yes. Locally, no. Right? Park-based realty is the only one that jumps to the top of my head.
I see them a lot on Instagram, but not. I mean, I don't do TikTok much, but so I can't say who I've seen from who I've not seen. But yeah.
Right. So I mean, that's just some of our advice. I don't know if anybody else has a couple of categories, but I mean, we all. And I like your idea, Lyndon. I think we need to. What about if we do a Zoom call for a brain dump?
Yeah, I'm good with just doing.
No, go ahead.
No, yeah. As I say, I'm open to that. A Zoom call as a brain dump. I think what we also need to do is put together our first virtual networking get together because we have not had a networking event.
Give us some hearts if you want to do a virtual networking. Let us know.
So we need to have
set that up ASAP.
Events, right? Excuse me.
Every single industry should go on TikTok. I don't care what industry you're in. Every single industry should go on TikTok. No, Car Queen, I would dispute you on that fact. I don't have the insight that it's not just young people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of young people creating content.
Yeah.
But it's not just young people watching the content.
Sorry, I'll just say this to Car Queen. I actually met someone on LinkedIn because who's older than me, very good in sales because of TikTok. I saw him on TikTok. I saw the work he was doing. I went and I looked at it for him on LinkedIn. I just reached out to him. Now we have conversations back and forth. And he's been doing to me, he's been doing some good stuff on LinkedIn. On TikTok, right? So it's not just what you call it. It's not old folks on
far from it.
TikTok. As a matter of fact, that the demographic is changing, right? From old folks, you might find maybe in some time soon the younger people begin to run away from TikTok because you be beginning to see the demographic evolve over time as it relates to the TikTok the TikTok thing. So look at it.
The only thing I would tell you, even if you look at it, a younger person like in your field. A younger person might actually tell their parents, look this latest car come out, and mommy say she had to buy a new car. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And who's an influencer in your buying process? Not those children?
Yes. Big influencers in your buying process.
Big. So that's just me. Influence. But I would honestly, balance bits with Gabs. I would honestly tell you, and shout out to Balance Bits with Gabs. She's doing a lot of stuff on the local cooking front that I love. I think it's actually very, very great. Yes, and Cassie, I agree. I think young people running away because they're seeing older people coming onto the platform.
Yeah, it's not fun anymore.
Listen, and let me. There's like a distraction point, and I'm gonna tell you, like on TikTok in particular, I watch Dr. Pimple Popper.
Right.
I watch people getting the ingrown toenails removed. I watch the car people, and I watch the Excel tips. That's when I post on my IG stories why the Excel stuff is so funny because you see people post some real good Excel tips. Like those are like the core videos I think of that are always like you just get drawn in and you go to the profile and you watch video after video after video. Like that I find myself doing. So trust me. But I think as I said, the overall theme that we're trying to stress with you tonight, don't get into decision paralysis and not executing at least one idea and be consistent with that, because that is what is going to help you win. Like I would give full props to Balance Bits, people like Cassia, people like Car Queen, because I see them every single day on Instagram, and I'm sure that's building their audience, and I'm sure that's building their tribe, and I'm sure they're having the conversations, right?
Look, read so Instagram. We want to read a comment for you on from LinkedIn. We read Amali's comment.
Oh gosh, my 62-year-old father is on TikTok, but he only views videos, does not post anything. Yep. My father is on Facebook and he's just scrolled through videos. I'm afraid to show him TikTok because he would love it. I know my father; he would love it. Yeah. So just to say, guys, so a couple of things, right? So what we started off doing today is that we started off just picking industries and we started talking about what we can do creatively in terms of just ideas. We may actually make this into our next networking event, and if it's virtual, it's virtual, because I mean, yes, we know, in person is coming up, but you know, why wait for that, right? So excuse me. So we may look at putting together a networking virtual event very soon. Jared and I are actually going to discuss that a little bit more later on this week. But yeah, again, just coming together, doing a brain dump, talking about an industry, coming up with ideas. Everybody can actually take their notes. I think that would be beneficial. That would be beneficial for everyone. Excuse me. And well, as I say, everything else that we spoke about here, don't get stuck on the different platforms. There are many different platforms that you can find yourself losing time with because you're putting together your content and you want to show it up in a particular way, yada, yada, yada. Remember, you still have work to do, right? So you still have work to do, and so balance out yourself and that kind of thing. So I would appreciate this tonight. Yeah, I would tell you the platform that performs best for you, that in terms of leads, focus on that platform. The thing I think everybody's missing out on is that you are not sending messages to your audience, right?
Yeah, engagement.
And I think that's where you need to spend. You're not engaging. I'm actually seeing posts on people's profiles now because I'm shopping around looking at things, and I'm shocked to see comments like 5 days and no response. Like, that is craziness, right? Engagement is what is going to make you win this round. So if you're trying to boost your sales, ask yourself, have I messaged all? And let me put this ratio in for you, because I think a lot of people don't understand the closing ratios and why this should get you excited. And I think this is one of the ways we end it. Hey, Lucas Lifts, good night. I'm not a fan of Lucas Lifts, Lyndon. He's a very fit gentleman. He's very fit. I think we need to ban any fit persons on this page. Okay.
Now we might need them for our own encouragement. Come true.
I don't like that kind of encouragement. I don't want that. No. All right. So you see, and I get distracted. I can't remember what was the point you were talking about. You see, what's the idol?
I don't know.
What I was saying is that the closing ratio. Let's look at your closing ratio, right, folks? Let's just say you have 200 likes on a post, but let's just say your average sale value, like the average transaction you conduct, is 200 TT, right? Let's just say you're the bookstore. 200 is your books are $200. You sell a book for 200. Let's just say, if you notice your ratio, every time you get 10 followers, you get one sale.
10 to 1. Mm-hmm.
10 to 1. But you have 200 followers on your page.
Right.
That equals to how many followers, Lyndon? I'll put in any spot because I lose my
my horrible. 10 to the 1, carry the 2.
10 to the 1. So if it's 20, it's 2. So if it's 200, it's 20.
Yeah.
20 times 200 is what? Was it? I'd have a calculator. Hold on. 20 times 200. Add a zero.
Yeah.
$4,000.
Yeah.
Imagine if you just message those people just to tell them. And better yet, if it is that you understand who your ICP is, you can automatically look at a profile and tell who's a good person to message. So therefore, you even reduce the numbers, but you concentrate on the persons that actually have a high probability.
Yeah.
Submarket 868, good night. Mardog, good night. Yeah. So think about it that way, folks. That's how you need to think about it. And if that 4,000 doesn't get you excited and hyped to reach out to those persons, you're not serious about business. You're not.
Yeah. And I would like to say for the time that I've seen some of y'all, it's not like y'all now in the business, you know. So y'all should know who those
You've been
people
there a
are.
while.
You know, I actually did some work with a client. Sorry, doing some work with a client, and on Monday we were having a conversation. We crossed the 30-day mark, so going into 45 to 60 days with them, and I was letting her know that from the list of what she's sending to me, I don't think that those people make up the profile that we should be reaching out to. So it only took me 30 days to understand this customer's profile to say, on this list, I don't think there's a good list of customers for you, so we can leave these people out. You know, so you're all in your business for however long. You're supposed to know who these people are, look at the trends and the type of people that buy, you know, that kind of stuff. So yeah.
It have the same group that's engaging over and over.
Yeah.
Like, listen, if you know your ratio, if you know your ICP, like these are the ways they can increase your sales. I mean, that's just the only advice we could give you.
Yeah.
That's the best thing we could tell you. Engagement matters, having the conversation matters, knowing your ICP matters if you want to increase your sales. And if you do those things consistently every single day, that's how you fill your pipeline. Like just the other day, I was giving somebody an example. The reason why you fill your pipeline is because you have people who will either buy from you in 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. But it all depends on how often you're filling people into your pipeline. So you have that consistent average coming in. Right? Just shout out to Maria Chongton she's the CEO of Eve Anderson Recruitment. I was just asking her what her challenge was on LinkedIn, and she's saying meeting clients and candidates' expectations. So I like that, because I think right now the biggest opportunity and yet challenge at the same time is hiring, and probably at a fast pace, but also hiring the right type of candidate. Because I know that's a big challenge for everyone. Rebecca saying she's looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Lyndon.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. I look forward to engaging with you as well tomorrow.
Yes, I'll be there.
Yeah.
In the audience. Right? So, folks, that is just us for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll probably leave like a minute or two just in case anybody has any questions that they want to drop for us. Bless Elijah, good day. If anybody has any questions, any sales challenges and stuff that they have, because
can I just answer one thing? I just want to add to Maria Chowton, right? And good night, Paul Stinnett.
Paul. I think we need to add Paul as a guest next week. Paul, let us know.
Yeah, because
let's talk to Paul about podcasting and sales.
His podcasting tips are excellent.
Yeah.
So Maria, something that I have recognized over the last year or so, and even when I was going back into my days at Massey, one of the things I recognized was that the notes that we were taking and that I was taking when I became a full-time entrepreneur about what the customer's end results were not accurate. So from on a sales side, my team initially, we were off with really clearly writing down what the customer's end expectation was. And what we started to do, and then what I started to do as an entrepreneur also, was really start paying attention. So this is all through the listening to what the customer was saying and what their end result is. And what we started to do better was translate that into our proposal and into our service expectations. So when we wrote the proposal and we were talking about things like the ROI matched what they were expecting. And then what we did is that we just made a list of these are the things that we need to cover for the customer. So it kind of comes back into that engagement and identification phase. And even when you're sending the proposal, we are very clear. So the proposal, the objectives are this, and these are going to be the outcomes with this expected ROI. Nothing else other than that. What sometimes we do as salespeople is that we still stick on what we want to give to the customer, but not exactly what the customer is asking for. So as I say, those are, I'm saying this based upon mistakes that I would have made as a sales leader, as a sales manager at the time. and things that I picked up that I was doing wrong in the beginning. Excuse me, doing wrong in the beginning for when I was an entrepreneur, and then what I started to take some course correction. So it came back into when I wrote that proposal. The proposal stuck to the expectation, so that when you're showing the results, that was it. You didn't have to worry about if we were on target and stuff like that. So
Correct.
that was my 2 cents as to my experience with matching those goals and stuff.
Paul said he would join us, and Maria said excellent point on needs versus wants in a pandemic, which I agree with. And competitive prices and compensation. And yes, great to meet you, Maria. And you see the thing what you have to understand is that if your buyers have changed, you need to also change your message. And some of you might think I don't want to change my message, but I would change the message. I don't change the core of what it is, but I change the message to adjust to what the narrative is now, because the buyer is the one who has control. And with the market being more competitive, I want to make sure that I speak to what the buyer wants. Plain and simple. Like what I like, because think about it, like I do people's LinkedIn profiles, but if I'm meeting somebody who I know is a job seeker, I speak my image, I speak my information out to that aspect. Or if I seek somebody out who's trying to do social selling, I speak to that aspect. I don't speak what they don't want to hear. I speak to what's important for their objectives.
Right. And that's the same thing that you have to do in your proposal writing and your expectations. Don't drift. Stick to that. Don't drift at all. So you stick to that, and then you give them that. And you keep your metrics. You keep your metrics on those things.
I think I saw one last point before you wrap up with your thought. Oh, shout out to Laura Lee Keith. Given I know she's also in the media industry. This is something I hold close to because I'm having some challenges doing some work in there. But I realize it because I don't know the language. And language, I think, is a big part too as well. So, and then I'm also selling something that has been done before, but I'm doing it a different way. And I'm coming in a language that they don't understand. So like, it's like what Trinitica helps people accomplish, but like in a different way. It's like industry jargon. I need to change my proposal to. So in other words, I sent you a proposal and everybody watched it like, what? Instead of putting it in their language.
Yes.
And then when they speak to me in their language, I'm watching them like, what? And then they look at me like, oh, you're a fool. You don't know our industry. Goodbye. Which I totally understand. I respect that opinion. And I think it goes back to good night, Sidoni. I know you were just talking earlier and you were talking about imposter syndrome. Sometimes that just comes from you might not know, you not knowing the industry, or I think given the industry that you're in, which is tourism, and she's in the restaurant business, because you're seeing so many challenges happening to you now, it definitely affects your confidence. But the only reason why you're in this is because you had the ability to do it. So trust me, you can. You literally can. The best way to get over imposter syndrome, and Lyndon and I talk about this all the time, trust me, is just to do it. Because I'm sure the only imposter feedback you're hearing is from yourself. There's nobody else saying, what are you doing there? How's it only get here? Nope. It's just your head and in your mind. That's the first thing. Right?
For real.
So, I think, Paul, you'll tell us if you could join next week. I think this is a fun little segment. And then again, we went for an hour. I was in shock. But folks, let us know. It doesn't feel like an hour. Is 7 o'clock a good time for you all? Like, is 7 o'clock on a Wednesday a good time to jump on live and have this conversation and just talk sales? Because Lyndon and I are very random with the times. It's like Monday or Wednesday. And if it's a Monday, maybe 8 or 7:30.
Yeah. But we realize around
we pick a time in a hat.
We realize around 7:30, 7 o'clock kind of works out well. So
I think 7:30 is the time.
7:30 may be a good time because I think a lot of y'all jumped in from around the 7:30 period. So
you'll finish watch news, you see the weather report, which is always wrong, and then you jump onto our live. So yeah, we understand. And Trinitica said Monday, Digital Treasure said Tuesday, boy. Tuesday's a weird day for us, you know.
Yeah, Tuesday. It might be Monday or Wednesday. Those are the 2 days.
Monday or Wednesday, yeah. We can't. Tuesday's just a weird name. Like Monday and even Wednesday weird, but like we can't include Tuesday and Wednesday because the name's too weird. Like, give us a straightforward Monday or Wednesday and we be there.
We live with that. Yeah, we live with that.
But folks, thanks so much. Give us some love, give us some hearts. Let us know if you enjoyed the conversation because we did. We love the interaction. Yeah. Micaiah, good night. Don't worry, you could jump back on another time. You will see the replay.
Digital
Yes.
Trojan, keep doing those videos, man. Those videos are
Keep
excellent.
doing those videos.
Yeah, keep doing those videos.
it. I think you're not at the start. So some people think you're not getting any traction. Trust me, it's the consistency.
Yeah, nah, do it.
And it's picking up.
Yeah.
And Laura Lee, I think I'll call you to set up a meeting to learn your jargon because I really need to understand this better, especially with one particular aspect. And Paul, if you're down next week, I think we need to bring you on as a guest onto a podcast to build sales. Cool?
Cool.
Have a good night, everybody.
Take care, guys. Peace.
And video.